Oh, I know. Nope. This is a database channel.
I think it's live.
You see us?
Yes.
We're good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey! Okay, quit out of this.
Yay!
We figured it out!
Hey.
Yay! Okay. So now that we are officially live, hi! Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first live podcast of the Kingdom Hearts database, the Cornerstone of Light. It is January 18, 2019. It's weird to say. I'm Chainoffire. Keyblade Spy Master's not with us today, but I have two other very special guests. So welcome and thank you for joining us on this new episode of the podcast. We're going to talk about everything going on in the Kingdom Hearts community, from development to trailers to whatever we're going to talk about today. So, with me today, my two guests are Jempanada. Say hello. And how are we doing today?
Often.
All right, I love it. And with me, Aquaberry as well. Say hello, Aquaberry. How are you doing today?
Meow.
I love it. All right. And instead of just answering me, they just told me which animals they would wrestle to the death in order to get a pre-order of Kingdom Hearts 3. So, yeah, I lied to you guys.
I would have
So,
wrestled my cat.
that being said, so the last time, going a little bit over what we were, what kind of happened in between our last episode and this episode, we were getting so hyped up for the Amazon premiere back in November, only to be let down by an exclusive Keyblade with zero trailer.
Exclusive.
Thanks, Amazon. And then in December we got a plethora of we got like what, 4 trailers?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah,
Oh.
a nice good chunk of trailers.
One every week or something.
Yeah, oh, goodness gracious. It
We
was
got
beautiful.
We got quite a lot of commercials in Japanese, and then one of the commercials was pulled. Videos. We got a new video today, I think.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
even got a 2-minute commercial for Japan today.
I didn't even see it yet, so.
Well, I'll keep that a secret. We'll keep that a secret until now.
Okay, well, great.
And then we also got the Skytree event, and we got they announced something at Disney Resorts where people could play the Kingdom Hearts 3 demo that's been at E3 and around the world. And we got a little snippet of the opening cinematic for Kingdom Hearts 3, which got a lot of people hyped. I have so far avoided it.
But why?
What?
Thus far.
You haven't seen
C-
it?
Because because I want to experience it for the first time when I put my disc in my PlayStation. That's like some people want to watch it. I want to experience it. That's just me.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, but haven't you seen spoilers? It must be difficult to avoid them.
It very much is. As soon as I hear like a couple piano keys or I hear like I'm like that sounds vaguely like
Oh my
Utada.
God.
Ah! Chuck my headphones off into the next room. And then earlier today / yesterday, depending on which side of the world you were on, we also got the entire version of Face My Fears, which I am also avoiding. But I hear a lot of people love it, so.
I love it. I actually immediately bought the album on my Google Play store, and I've been listening to it all day today, pretty much. But it has both the English and the Japanese version, so I've been enjoying both songs.
Oh,
It's
sweet.
awesome.
How are you liking it, Aquaberry?
It's
Okay.
it's very interesting. I can't wait to see your reaction when you hear it. There's
I know. Well, fortunately, when I do play Kingdom Hearts 3 for the first time, if all technical difficulties break through, I won't be streaming it, but I'm gonna be recording my reactions and then throwing them up on YouTube, so people
Yeah, I'm gonna
have
do
that
the same.
same thing. Yeah,
Because-
that seems kind of consensus.
Yeah, well, because what happened is my original plan was to stream my very first experience, but I will be going on a work trip the same week it drops, which
Oh.
sucks. But I told my bosses that I'm bringing my PlayStation to this work trip, and I will be playing at night when we're done with work. And they're like, "Well, make sure that you have Wi-Fi, and so you can possibly maybe stream it." And I was like, "Yes."
Yay, happy
I
day.
may
All
stream
right.
it through my PlayStation, but if it's not, if the scenes are gonna get blocked, then I may just get a crappy camera and just like record myself throughout the whole process. So
Yeah.
just to like have those moments.
Oh, yeah.
A part of history, like.
Oh,
Yeah.
completely. This is the big thing.
I don't do reaction videos, but I want to record every single moment of my first.
Yeah.
I play really slow usually because I like savor the game, so I am gonna stream my first playthrough from the beginning, but I don't really mind if nobody watches it because they're gonna be busy playing it. So I don't really mind, but my priority is that it's recorded.
Yes.
So.
Yep. I'm with you there.
And then I might upload some snippets of like the most interesting reactions to the most interesting scenes or something. So,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be crying at Dearly Beloved.
Oh, completely. Like, I'm gonna have
for an hour crying.
I'm gonna have so much footage because I'm gonna have to stop to listen to the music and then stop to make me cry, and then I'm gonna have to stop to while I'm listening to the music and crying. So I'm not. That's another reason I'm not gonna stream it, just because it's like a lot of it is just going to be me just sitting there and just enjoying the music as it's playing and be like, wow.
Yeah, that's me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, we are all very much looking forward to it. So kind of going back all the way to where it was announced in 2014, we're gonna go back a little bit further, possibly, and we're gonna kind of go. We're gonna kind of talk about our experiences with the series and whatnot. So, Jempanada, how did you find Kingdom Hearts and how did you get involved with the community? Like, how far back?
So I'm going to say that so Kingdom Hearts 2 has already been out. And the way how I discovered the game was, so my best friend from grade school, she was like, "Hey, my brother has this game called Kingdom Hearts," and I'm like, "Okay." Like, I wasn't like really thrilled about it. She's like, "It has some Disney characters." I was like, "Okay, they have some Disney characters. Let's try it." And it became I actually became like an excuse for me, like, "Hey, can I come over to your house just so I can play the game?" And it was a fun time. Like, we were like best friends, so she didn't mind. But I was so into the series, and then later on, then I went right into Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I remember specifically watching this, the cinematic opening. And I'm like, what's going on here? Why is Riku running? Riku's running downstairs, and why is he running upstairs? And then there was a bunch of like people in the black, the coats, and I'm like, who are these people? Like, I had no clue. And then I had to do my research and find out like there was a Chain of Memories on the DS, and I was just like, oh crap! Now I have to play this game to figure out like what's happening in there.
Yeah, you are not alone.
No, yeah, and so ever since then, it's been part of my life, and then from then on, then I started playing every game that came out, by release, and yeah, but I never owned a PlayStation, so all the times I played the game, I had to borrow it for my friends. So, so now more recently, when I'm actually playing these games on my Twitch channel, this is technically my second or third playthrough of the game. I've been very like passionate about the series and love the lore, love Disney, and I love video games in general. So that's what solidified my love for entire community and this world.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone there when we say that there's so much passion and no pun intended, so much passion. With this series, and just there's so much love and so much just drive for this weird mesh of Mickey Mouse and Cloud Strife. that could have gone, like, when initially hearing about it, just could have gone so poorly and was just a hit. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. So now we're here, and it's like we're waiting for the 10th third one. It's weird. But so Aquaberry, how did you get involved with the spiky haired boy and the news sites that is the biggest hit in the web right now?
I didn't actually have a PlayStation. I was more of a Nintendo handheld girl.
I'm with you.
All right. So my cousins and we started emulating some Game Boy Advance games, and he showed me this, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and I just spiky hair and big ass, really big shoes with Donald and Goofy. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? It looks so stupid. So I thought it was so stupid, and then I started the game. I was playing this on the emulator. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then you know how the dialogue in that game is like, you lose and you gain, and memories this, heart that, memories.
Yeah, all that vague, weird language they use.
Memories deep within your heart, chain of memories, and I'm like, this is
You're like, I get it.
It's like a drug. You know how you're just, when somebody does drugs, they'll be like, in a completely different world. That's how Kingdom Hearts feels to me.
True that. No truer words have been spoken.
So, I didn't finish because the card system, it was very difficult for me beyond a certain point. So I just watched my brother play it through. He's a genius. I don't know how he does it. He just goes through it like, yeah, it's so easy. And it's funny because it's like kind of like this chapter in the series where there's Organization 13 introduced, but at the same time you don't know who they are. And I didn't play the first game, so I didn't know what was going on actually, but I still liked it so much. I went on to play the other games, so 1 and then 2 and then the other ones that came after that. So, sometimes I use that of how you can get into the series by playing any game. I know one of my best friends, she played Recoded.
Oh.
She played Recoded.
That's new.
That's her first game into it. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why, like, when I see people say, "Oh, you're not gonna understand anything," if you play Kingdom Hearts like that 3 without playing the other ones, like, yeah, okay, you're not gonna understand all of it, but I think it's gonna be I think it can still be a good gateway into the series either way. So, yeah, it's a nice story.
Yeah, agreed. I think I know there's some other people that have gotten into Kingdom Hearts 2 first, so they were like, I don't know what's going on, but this is really cool to play. I think there was somebody else who their first game was Birth by Sleep, and they were like,
wow,
this is weird. I had a lot of fun with this, but I think I'm gonna start from release order now. So, lots of people all over the series still have fun with it. So when people are saying, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be my first Kingdom Hearts, or I only played 1 and 2, and then I completely agree that that they'll still have fun with it. So darn you haters.
It hurts me a little bit when they're just like, yeah, it's going to be my first game ever, or they never played any of the side games. It's just like, but why? Why would you do that? And it's a lot. It's a lot of like time to get into, but still it hurts me a little bit inside to be like, yeah, I just only played.
No, it does me too. Oh, completely. But I think
play 3, they're gonna, if they like it enough, they're gonna go and play the other games.
Exactly.
Ultimately, it's up to them. But I have a feeling that they would go and play the other games, or if they can't for whatever reason, they will go and look into the lore and go to Cage database to
Hey!
all the pages of all the lore and everything. So.
And then when they find out about all like, wow, I want to know more. What's coming out? They'll go to Cage 13, and they'll be like, hey. And then it's like, I want to watch somebody play it. Let's go see Jem's channel. It'll be great.
Yeah,
So, so then I guess we never actually introduced like what we do and why we're here. So if you want to talk about kind of actually, I'll talk about my Kingdom Hearts experience, and then we'll talk about what else we do with that passion for Kingdom Hearts and what we've turned it into. So I didn't actually get into Kingdom Hearts until 358 over 2 days was coming out, and he got a pre-order for it. So he had that Roxas poster on his wall, that of the Days art, and so I asked about that. I'm like, hey, that looks kind of neat. This teenage looking guy looks really like emo and dark. I like that because I was a teenager in like 2007. Roxas, yeah. So I'm like, all right. So what's this about? And then his mom came in, was like standing right there, and she's like, "You don't know what you're getting into."
Oh no!
Because apparently he tried to explain the plot to his mom, and she was like, "What?" So, Days was going to be released like the very next week or something. He just happened to get the poster early for some reason.
Okay.
And he's like, "All right, you're gonna play this series," and I'm like, "Okay." So, and the rest is kind of history. I played it. He let me borrow it. I had a PS2, fortunately. So he let me borrow the first game. He let me borrow the second game, and then my PlayStation died, and it got his disc stuck in it. And he's like,
"Oh no!"
I don't want you to. I don't want you borrowing this because I don't want my Kingdom Hearts 2 to break. And I'm like, I can't blame you. Here you go. But then we got a new PS2, and my girlfriend at the time got me Kingdom Hearts 2 for my birthday. And so I played through it then. And like halfway through the playthrough at the library, I saw Rechain of Memories, and I'm like, oh look, another Kingdom Hearts game. I could play this at the same time. Or no, that was in between when I didn't have Kingdom Hearts 2 before I got it, but after like the PlayStation broke. So I had a PlayStation, but I didn't have a copy of the game, and I'm like, oh, I can play Rechain of Memories, and then I can ask about Kingdom Hearts 2, and then try to get that. So I got Rechain of Memories, I played it, I got through the fight with Leon, and I'm like, what? I don't understand this. Why are there cards? What? I don't like this. I want to hit things. I don't want it to cost... Don't make... It's like, slights make your cards go away, and I'm like, forever? Okay, no, I can't do that. So, I also had that thing where I dropped Rechain of Memories, until eventually later I picked it back up. But then I played Kingdom Hearts 2, and then eventually got to Birth by Sleep and all that, all with everybody else's systems. One of my friends had a PSP, my other friend had a DS, so
Yeah.
and the rest is history. Eventually got a PS3, and here we are with a PS4. So, but, so it's been good, since the first game, a good 18 years that this kind of journey's been happening, whether we've joined later or joined right at
Very end.
the release. So it's been happening regardless if we're here or not. But that being said, our love for this wonderful series has driven us to do very strange things, like have people watch us play it and write big, like 65 articles in 24 hours over it. So, that being said, what crazy thing? Of course, you guys know what I'm referring to. What did you do with your passion for the series? And like, what
So-
sparked you to do that?
I guess
Sorry,
you're
Jen.
talking about like people watching other people play Kingdom Hearts. That would be me. I stream. So my goal, like I've always wanted to do streaming, and I knew that Kingdom Hearts was gonna be my goal to play because I felt like I need to replay the games, but also why not build my community off from the series?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I started to just start, playing the games and just hopefully learning the whole community thing of just growing to be a streamer and then also trying to find Kingdom Hearts communities from that. And I do want to thank like Keyblade Sarah, shout out to her for just being able to build that community. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like one of the like most known streamers that I know from that. So she gave me that push to be like at least know that there are going to be people who are able to watch me play, enjoy the series again and over, no matter what. So I've I found so many like my mods. I found like people who like my little bodega family, which I call them. So if you don't know what a bodega is, it is basically a corner store that you'll always find in New York City. And since I represent New York City, that's where I'm from. Just felt like the whole diversity and culture-wise would fit because I want to find people from all over the world, and New York City is a good representation of that. So you can always find different people from different religions, all that stuff. So that's how I came up with the idea of that, and so I'm very open-minded and accepting wherever you're from, whatever your background is, as long as you're not, a meanie. So we'll be good friends pretty much.
Yeah.
And I have been streaming for about a year, and because I was only doing it for like once a week, so the lengthwise, like it should only take me about a month for each game, but like it took me maybe like 2 months for each game for some reason because I was only doing for that week. And since I was still building my tolerance for being live and talking and chatting with everybody, the beginning of my streams were only lasted for like 2 hours. So but then over time it started to gradually like get longer and longer, and so I'm able to just get that tolerance and finally I can stream longer, I can play longer, and also learn how to communicate with like my chat. So it was a fun experience. So, and I'm actually almost done playing point 2 in critical mode. So it's been a wild journey, and I'm very close to finishing it, and then I'll be done playing and caught up with all the Kingdom Hearts games.
All right. That's quite a feat. Ouch, to say the least.
And this is the first time I've ever done critical mode, so it was a very painful journey so far, and I'm almost done. I'm almost there.
Almost there. Well, I have full faith in it, and if it's any consolation to our viewers, I've seen her streams. She might be that way. I don't know. Yeah, she's that way. I've seen her streams. She's a fun person. The family, the bodega family, is just fun to interact. So if you ever get a chance, we'll be putting links in the description later. But if you ever get a chance, please check her out. It's a lot of. She's fun to interact with, and her people are fun to interact with. It's great. So that's why, like, if not, she wouldn't be on this podcast. So
Wow.
that's why we brought her here. Yeah, if you were a crappy person, we're not letting you in.
You have to enjoy it.
Yeah. But that being said, Aquaberry, our second guest or first guest, depending on what order you're seeing the screen on. What is your passion for the series? What crazy thing did it lead you to do?
Loads. So, continuing from what I said about, I began with Chain of Memories and went on to play the other games. In between that, obviously, there were years and years of silence about like Kingdom Hearts, and not like now where we get news like every few minutes, satisfy that with something. So I was just always reading a lot of fan fiction, writing a lot of fan fiction. Not not very appropriate ones for my age, but I still got them. um, and that's and then around when I started university, I discovered Facebook pages. So I joined one. I'm like, okay, let's see what it is. And it was basically one of the first Kingdom Hearts memes Facebook pages, and I really got into it. So when I went to university, I grew up in Italy, but I'm not ethnically Italian. I'm actually Bengali. So for me to go to a completely different country, which is the United Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
it was a really big culture shock, and I was very shy and I'm very introverted. So I just couldn't make any friends, you know. So through that one Facebook page, I made some of the closest friends. You know, and we all share the same love for Kingdom Hearts. I think some of them even work for Square Enix, so
It's good people to have.
but we all started from like there, and now we're just so close. And some of these people in the circles, they're like doing so many things with this passion. So I started making quite a lot of memes. And
The best content creation that there possibly can be.
at the time, yes. And, you know, it was just so cool to see them go viral and everything. And there was a point where, you know, real life was just not very nice. And, you know, just with university and all that. And I didn't make a single close friend at uni. My 3 years of uni, I will admit, all of my close friends were people that I knew from this page. So, you know, I started being really invested in the community, starting from this page. So I started covering news on the page as well, and just talking to the fans. And it just felt like a big family. And I remember when my mom got pregnant, my mom lived in Italy back then, so I went to see her, and that's when she told me, I'm like, wow, because I was 21 at the time, so it was probably an accident. Anyway, I'm thinking of a name. I didn't know the gender of the baby yet, and she said, "What do you think of Sora?" I'm like,
Aww.
"Yeah, she's supposed
Yes,
to be."
please.
I'm like, I love that name, because she's you know, she's seen us play Kingdom Hearts, me and my brothers, and Digimon. So, but most of Kingdom Hearts is Sora this, Sora that. So yeah, so I remember when I told the community, you know, that page, that my sister, I found out their gender later. She was gonna be due soon, and we decided to call her Sora. There was so much love for her, and nobody knew her, you know. She's not even born yet, but there was so much love, and I was like, oh, I just love this community so much. Even now, I have people telling me, people that I don't even know or forgotten, hey, how's Sora? I'm like, she's gonna turn 5 this February. They're like, wow, that is so cool. She's grown up so much. And I'm like, I didn't even know that you knew her. But, yeah, but that's when I started getting more involved with the community, and I started going to community events. There were a few in London, which I'm very grateful for. And that's when I got to meet people like Yoko Shimomura, Shinji Hashimoto, Tai Yasue, Ria Nishi, and other people. And, you know, and that's when I started covering news for Cage 13. I thought, I'm not really a news person, but I'll give it a go. So I gave it a go, and now I'm the news team leader for Cage 13. Yummy. It's very stressful work because there's so much news coming out all the time.
I can imagine.
It's so stressful. There are days where I'm just like, Nomura, stop.
You like to stop it, please.
But,
Too much news. Oh.
So back in 2013, while I was, you know, adminning the page, I made this little family of the admins. I woke up, it was like 6 a.m. I woke up to some messages from one of the admins, and he was like, Kingdom Hearts 3 has been announced! I'm like, what? And then I went and saw the announcement trailer. I was like crying in my bed. My cousins were like, yeah. So, fast forward to 2015, which was my first year at KH13. I basically put a picture of me with a Keyblade as my profile picture. I took this picture at the 2.5 event in London, and then a certain person saw the picture, and it was love at first sight, and he was like, okay, I'm exaggerating. He had a little bit of a crush. Like, oh, she looks interesting, and he sent me a friend request, and now I'm married to him. So I ended up marrying someone who shares the passion of Kingdom Hearts with. I'm a bigger fan, but still, right now as we speak, he's building me a PC and stream and record Kingdom Hearts 3 when it comes out. I mean, we have our, but sometimes just to see him appreciate my love for Kingdom Hearts so much, because all the other people that I've been with are like always, they always look down on my passion for Kingdom Hearts, to the point where I sometimes feel ashamed of like showing it. But now I'm just like, it's this video game. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so now I'm here with you guys.
Woo!
It was great.
I have like a very similar story. Like my boyfriend and I met because of Kingdom Hearts. So, and we were together for 3 years, and we're still going. And I'm the same way. You're like, I'm the more bigger fan because I'm the one who's playing it like on stream. But he's just like excited. I'm just a little bit more like fangirling over it and everything. So yeah.
That's so awesome. The connections you can make, just because of like of this weird connection between Mickey Mouse and Cloud Strife.
An unbreakable connection.
An unbreakable connection. Yes, very much so. I haven't met any significant others through Kingdom Hearts. That's okay. I don't want one.
That's fine. You'll find your papu fruit soon to share with.
Nah, Kingdom Hearts is my papu fruit. It's good. So it's but just the amount of friends I've made is just I don't have words for it. I'm struggling to find words for it. It's just there's so many people I've met through this, and so much love that has become because of the series.
It's incredible.
It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. So I got into my weird crazy experience was that a lot of people would after playing the first game or playing the second game or something, they would go onto forums and they would find KH13 or KH Insider, and they would find something where it's like, hey, I can interact with the community here, because at the time social media, Facebook had just become kind of a thing. It hadn't quite taken off to the mainstream yet, so I didn't have a Facebook. I really didn't have a Twitter until much, much later. So the way I got through people is I kept going to the site for information, and on like their main page they would have a quote of the day or quote of the moment, because it would change every time you refresh the page. I didn't know that, so I thought it was a daily thing. And they had a featured article every month, and I would read that article and like learn about the series a little bit. Fortunately, they didn't have anything too spoilery, but it still was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, what's wisdom form? It's like, oh, that was in the game I played? Whoa. So I'm like,
anything about a BHK?
Sorry, say that again?
Do you remember anything about a BHK?
BHK? No, I was not in the community, because I didn't get into Kingdom Hearts until after Days was released, so everybody knew who Roxas was at that point. But I remember hearing stories of the BHK. being the it was black hooded Keyblade wielder, black haired
No,
kid or blonde haired kid,
blonde-haired kid.
blonde haired kid. That's who it was. At the end of I think he was at the end of Chain of Memories, and he was in Deep Dive, which was the big thing.
Hmm.
So, uh, at that point, Days had already come out. I remember waiting for Birth by Sleep to come out, which still seems like so long ago. Like I can only imagine what people feel like waiting for the first game, let alone Birth by Sleep. Uh, but so I was going on this website, and I'm like, you know what, I should make an account and start interacting with people, because somehow I found there's a community behind this website. Cool, I'll interact with these people, and that website at the time was called the Kingdom Hearts Wiki, and eventually I started interacting with people there, got to know the community, and one user had been holding a riddle contest that also kind of drew me in to joining the site, and it's like, oh, she's doing riddles, and the winner gets this neat little sticker thing on their page. Cool, I want in. I kind of know the series. I think at that time I had played 1, 2, and Days at that point, so I knew most of it, and then I watched Rechain on YouTube, so I'm like, I know most of it, I could figure some of this out. And it was difficult. Good riddles. So I got involved with the community there. Eventually, the community eventually the community split, and then the ones that stayed was called the Keyhole, and the ones that had left had branched off to a new site, and that became the Kingdom Hearts Wiki that we know today. And then eventually, due to some changes at the Keyhole, I left there, and I made my way over to the KH database, where we have started that all the Keyhole people went over to the KH database, and we're like, wow, we can do a lot more when we don't have a hosting service telling us what to do every so often. So then we combined a wiki site and a news site into one, and that's where I reside today.
Nice.
So that was and that only happened. The cache database was only born less than a year ago, so we're still building it. It's still you won't find too much on there as far as content. Like if you compare the KH database and KH Wiki is gonna have a lot more at the time being, but we're under construction. We're building it. We're getting there, and we've got a lot of projects and cool things that we're excited to announce with that. But we've got news going, so it's a good time.
Awesome.
But
it's a great time.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Not to expect, because you have the Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out, so you have quite a lot to do, and people.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of content.
Yeah, people are gonna be searching for content left and right, so it's a great time.
Yeah, and it's a great time to just build and be like, hey, so we're gonna concentrate on all the KH3 info, because that's the things people are gonna search, and be like, hey, we got you. So Kingdom Hearts 3 was first introduced, correct me if I'm wrong, I had a thing pulled up, but it's gone now. I think 2014 was the initial... 2013. 2013, E3 2013.
Yeah.
So at the time, all we saw was the trailer with Sora picking up Ericus's Keyblade on Destiny Islands, and then the logo, and the internet flipped out. At the time, I wasn't following any development. I was still new to the wiki and just kind of answering riddles and hearing what the community had to say. So the reason I saw it was in my recommended. There was times where I would go into YouTube and just search Kingdom Hearts 3 information, and there were just, all this fake crap, Kingdom Hearts 3, the Keyblade War coming out on PS3. We had That like for anybody that was there during that time, you could remember a lot of fake crap coming out, man. It was all this Photoshop shenanigans. Um, but I saw this one that had kind of a new image of Sora, and it had the thumbnail was Sora's face, as he's like bursting out of the clouds or whatever. Um, and I'm like, nah, this is probably fake. I'll watch it and laugh. And then I clicked on it and I'm like, this looks very real. And I'm watching it and it's going like the trailer starts out just showing all the previous games. So it's like Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 2, Chain of Memories, and I'm like, okay, they're just showing the past games, that's whatever. And then he like bursts out of the Dream Drop window or whatever, and I'm like, oh, this looks very real. and then it showed Sora picking up Ericus's Keyblade, and I'm like, wait, what? And like, oh, I gotta follow this more closely. So eventually I got a Twitter.
That's where I started social media.
And that's where I started paying attention to the actual, instead of paying attention to the wiki. I mean, I still paid attention to the wiki, but like, instead of getting it hand down through all these different sites, I started following Square Enix directly, and then that's when I found sites like H13 and KG Insider, and be like, oh, I can get news much quicker instead of finding it like a week later in a thumbnail that's recommended. So that's kind of how I found out about Kingdom Hearts 3 and seeing that trailer. So Aqua, you kind of shared your how you found out about Kingdom Hearts 3. Jem, how did you find the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, and what was your reaction to that?
So as a huge just video game fan in general, E3 has always been like my most looking forward to the summer thing to watch. And I was checking out for Square Enix, their segment of the show to maybe there's gonna be some revealing of Kingdom Hearts. And I do remember specifically, I don't remember where I was living at the time, but I do, because I moved a couple of times around. But I do remember jumping out of my bed and just screaming that it's finally coming, it's gonna happen. And I was like, I think every year I've been watching closely with E3 just to see if they're gonna show a little bit more and more. And I feel like every year has always been a very, very teasing. Sometimes it'll be we got some Kingdom Hearts stuff, but it's going to be this game. It was the UX one, the mobile game or something like that.
Yeah.
So very small little teasers where I was just like, we're close, we're getting there, I guess. So that was my that's when I knew that Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming out, and I've been patiently waiting every single year, and finally we got the date, and I was just happy. I'm so thrilled. And we're getting 1 year closer, and now we're only 10 days closer. So I'm very excited. I've been waiting such a long time for this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been waiting so since Days, I think that was 2009. So I've only been waiting for new content. I've only been involved for 10 years, and then we've only been waiting since 2013. T9 876. So about 5-6 years, because it was end and beginning. So I forgot where I was going with that. Shoot. But yeah, just kind of seeing how far we've come from that initial whoa, this is a real trailer, or why am I waking up at the butt crack of dawn for hearing that there's a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer? It's lies. It's not lies. So what so how have you guys seen kind of the community change from, you know, um what it was at the initial announcement kind of to now? I know that it's been just in my experience, I've seen it grow quite a bit, but what from your guys' perspective, what have you seen, you know, change first of all, what have you seen change and what was has been the biggest thing that's been kind of been changing with the fan base and the community?
I'll start.
Yeah.
For me, like, so I got really involved with it when I first played Kingdom Hearts. Like, I found a lot of like meme videos, and it just became like my favorite thing to just find like any new weird video edits. Just like it was one of
Found
those like lip
Aqua's page.
syncing. Maybe it was Aqua's page. And just found like those were the type of like videos that I was getting into, but I never really had any community until like much later. Actually, just like more recently, like maybe a couple of years, like ago, like maybe I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago is where like I started to get more involved. So I had like a little like I went dark, like basically, and then, but what I think one of the things that really hurt me the most was like learning about the Shion meme where everybody's like, "Who?" and I was like, and I didn't pick it up until like much later when I started joining all these groups and people just kept saying like, "Who is she? Like, who is that?" And I'm like, "Don't do this to me! Like, I love Shion. She is my favorite character." And so, yeah, it like that was kind of like one of those things where like, okay, this is the one meme I actually don't like about the Kingdom. But
Shion lives, dang it.
she lives, and but I am excited for like I did find a community that like weren't super trolly about that, and we're just respected. We all respected each other's opinions about certain games, what we didn't like, what we did like. I know Two Minator is one person that I met through streaming, and we've came to an agreement that a lot of the things that we don't like, he dislikes something and I like it, and when I dislike something he likes it. It's just like how are we even friends? Like how do we get to this point? But we agreed to disagree, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about the you know, as much as we have opposing opinions about certain things, we can still have the love for the entire series.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people, you know, on Twitter that'll get into arguments over like, oh, I don't like this mechanic, or you know, this part of the story is kind of dumb or something. But at the, you know, that'll happen with any community. I genuinely think, I don't know if it's the power of Disney or the power of friendship, I don't know what you want to call it. But like at the end of the day, I think we're actually like a really good community. Like I've met so many people, and I haven't met anybody that's driven me so far up a wall that just like like I would in real life. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just interacting with the right people. I don't know, but but it just seems like that this community is very loving and very open, and be like, oh, you don't understand this thing. Well, neither do we really, but we'll start in this part of the chart and work our way down, and we'll figure it out together. So, and there's so many different places you can go that will help explain things. If you want to know in depth like mechanics and stuff, you can go see speedrunners. If you want to see some general how to do something, you can go to wikis. If you want to learn something about what's coming up, go to news sites. You know, there's just a bunch of different resources out there, and I think that kind of helps with the community building and whatnot. So Aquaberry, you've been with the community a little bit longer than me and Jim, if I'm remembering correctly from like 10 minutes ago.
The end of 2012, you could say.
Okay, so maybe not as long, but like from the from what you first got involved with the community to now, how has it like changed for you? And
So
like what has changed?
it's been 7 years. Before that, I was only part of the fan fiction community, you could say, and an Italian forum community.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually spans more than 7, 10 years. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
to be completely honest with you, I don't think it's changed, except that people are more hyped, and there are some
Mm-hmm.
people are more involved now, and they actually go and involve themselves a bit more because they
Mm-hmm.
are more hyped. So you don't only have like the people who write fan fiction or draw fan art. It's people making random tweets and just tweeting and discussing and streaming and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, there's so many streamers now. And
True that.
yeah, so I just think that
And we love
they
them all.
become more involved. In terms of like the community itself, I've always thought that it was very varied. So I hear you speak about like your positive experiences, which is great. And the negative side of it as well, the positive side, the middle part, the extreme negative, the extreme positive, and a mix of everything. But I feel like there's always certain events that, or like certain things, certain elements from the games, or again certain events, or that make the community, most of it, come together.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like with the leaks, everyone's just like avoiding them. I didn't see a single person share it, or like accidentally. I only saw it when I had to go and look out for it.
Mm-hmm.
Except
Right.
some news websites that shared it. Oh, be aware, Kingdom Hearts has been leaked, and then they put the leak.
Yes.
Right
Oh
there.
my gosh. Oh.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like why would you do that?
But there were people saying, "Oh, this person is posting leaks," so like it's on YouTube. Avoid. Oh, the boss, the secret boss is there. But just people coming together, and then Nomura making that statement. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Nomura's statement was just such a bless him. I'm glad he understands the majority of us.
Yeah, and he was worried about catching a cold. I'm like,
I love that so much.
I want you as my mom. Last year was basically the same with the Monsters Inc. leak. People.
Oh yeah.
Skyward Way actually made a really nice video about the fan reaction to the leak, and he was basically saying the same thing about how like people actually came together, and he couldn't see a single person sharing the world's list and stuff. I mean, when we saw the Monsters Inc. leak, we didn't actually know if it was a legit leak, so obviously we shared it. But when we learned that it was legit, then we're like, okay.
Yeah, like we can't.
Like, okay.
There are certain events, not just leak-wise, like trailers-wise, or just some things that we can all agree with. So I do see quite a lot of debates all the time, and quite a lot of people with a variety of opinions. Many of them I don't particularly like, but I'd be like, okay, yeah, you exist. I don't, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna fight with you because at the end of the day, we both like the same game. So what's the point?
If we happen to meet up at Denny's, I'll get in a fight with you. But right now, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna worry about that kind of thing.
I'm trying to beat you up. Yeah, I think it's very varied, but at the end of the day, I don't think that either of us would be here if we didn't actually like the community.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Do it for the community, like I think I speak for you guys as well. Like
completely, yes.
Yeah,
we are
definitely.
The main reason we're doing this is for the community. So
very much so, yes. And I love always hearing all these different stories of how people got involved and what crazy things they ended up doing with their passion, and it amazes me how like if you had told me way back when that I would have learned coding to put up articles on a gaming website would have been like, that sounds boring. Why am I doing that? It's not the most entertaining thing, no, but I love doing it, and it's because of the community that I do it. Um, and it's why, you know, it's because I love all these people, and I'm sure that would have gone for you guys too. You know, if you would have told that you would have played. Although I don't know, Jem, if you would have told a little kid you're gonna play video games for a lot of people, you'd have been like, yeah.
That'll be
But
cool. That'll be a
yeah,
fun
that's
time.
cool. I get to play video games, and
I get
people
to
are.
be on TV.
I get to be on TV,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, I'm on TV,
Like, what's the
dude.
internet?
Yeah, it's better than TV. Trust me, kid. Um,
Who
but
doesn't think
it's
anymore?
but yeah, the community's been growing. The community's been loving. It's been it's and it's and it's louder definitely too.
Oh, it's so
You
much louder.
Oh goodness, like I remember back in high school, I was ashamed to share my little notebook of little Kingdom Hearts
Oh,
drawings, because I'm like, oh, they're gonna say it's nerdy or this looks weird or what is that demon-looking thing doing in your notebook? But then it's like, oh, then I hear people like, oh look, the Kingdom Hearts trailer, and I'm like, yes, it is. You know what it is. Ha. So, and then I actually found out later that a lot of people in my high school played Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like,
we could have been friends.
we could have gotten closer. Like, what the heck? Like, I
That
thought I was in this nerdy little corner. What the
that
heck, dude?
that really does hit you because even I used to have like doodles and stuff, and I used to
Mm-hmm.
get proper bullied for it.
Oh,
Mm.
I usually what I do is I don't think about my childhood much,
Mm-hmm.
except like Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon, and all the stuff that I liked. But now that you mention it, it kind of came back to me that I did used to have doodles, and people would just bully. My whole class would just bully me, put me at the center of attention, and just bully me for it. And I was just so shaped. Like I feel so emotional just thinking about it. Like
Hmm.
oh,
what? But now, if you see now where we are, like we are proud of this. Like this is our passion. We're not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It
not
helps
shameful
that.
at all. It's
Yeah.
not. If
Mm-hmm.
it makes you happy, it's worth being part of your life. And for some people, for many people, and I think I speak for you guys as well, it has impacted our lives very, very much.
Very much so.
So
Yes. And looking from you looking at you uh going from somebody that was picked on in school to somebody that's like one of the head honchos at the one of the biggest news sites of Kingdom Hearts, like if that isn't inspirational, I don't know what is. Like it's uh I never got properly picked on for it. I mean maybe a comment here or there, but so that very that's so I'm sorry that you got picked on at all, but that's so cool that you still pursued what you loved and just became and you came out on top, and that's fantastic. Uh,
and I hope that
so
can be a message for whoever is watching this. If
very much so. I hope so too. And it also helps that we've all matured a bit, that we were kind of maturing during the whole process as well. But for there's still fans that are 13, 14, those who don't go play Fortnite, uh, that do look into other video games that aren't Fortnite. Nothing against Fortnite. It's just like that's what everybody's playing. Um, back in the
everybody
day,
thinks what it is.
yeah. But yeah, Fortnite's good. But like for those that do look to other video games, I hope that you're inspired. That go for what you love. Don't be ashamed of what you love, and you know, someday
and
it
It will pay off, definitely.
it'll pay off. You'll do great things.
and
I feel like
it gets really better. You're not gonna be stuck in that moment of like if you are stuck in a moment of sadness, you're like, oh, I hate my life. But trust me, it really does get better.
mm,
just be true to yourself. You know,
Mhm.
if you love something, love it. Don't feel any shame for it. Just love it. It's gonna make you so much happier in the long run.
Face your fears.
Exactly. Face your fears.
And go after your passion. There we go. Don't think twice about
You'll
it.
find a sanctuary.
Yes.
There we go. That's what it is.
It's such a simple and clean concept, really.
Yes. It might not feel simple, but once you're at the end, it'll be simple and clean. Exactly. So now that we've made every single pun under the sun,
Hey, no, you will find your light.
yeah, exactly. There we go, Hikari.
Fight the darkness.
Yeah, there we
Just
go.
make an oath right now.
That's the one we were missing. I'm like, I feel like we're missing
Don't
one.
think twice about it. Just do it.
TLDR, life sucks. Play Kingdom Hearts.
And listen
That's
to
the life
some-
lesson.
Remember, you're not a nobody. You have a heart.
Yes. Don't let those heartless people get to you. I was just about to say, I'm sure there's some Kingdom Hearts quote I could fit here, but honestly, these were all really good.
Don't let them eat your dreams.
Oh my
There you
god.
I don't know what to do with unversed.
something unversed.
It's not even a word.
Keyblade. Yeah. So with that, I hope everybody listening and everybody watching has enjoyed our stories about our journeys and our experiences with both the series and in life. I love hearing stories, and I love hearing, especially with Kingdom Hearts, like what people have been doing. So feel free to, either tweet at us or share or put it in the comments or something. Tell us your story. Like, what does Kingdom Hearts mean to you? Where have you gone since then? How'd you get into it? Like, tell us all about it. I'd love hearing it.
Write
So
it
you
down
should-
on Twitter and tag me. I will read each one.
Yes,
Same.
Ted.
I will read every one of them.
very much so. We will have, if you're interested to hear more about our two guests for the day, Aquaberry and Jempanada, we will have links to all their social media and whatnot in the description soon. But for the time being, if you guys, my Twitter is at the Chainoffire. That's 2 F's. All one word, no caps. Jempanada is it just Jempanada?
At Jempanada, Jempanada 3 for
3, that's right. And that's not Jempanda. You're wrong.
Not panda. For some people who heard of empanada before, there's an A.
Definitely made that mistake before, admittedly. And then Aquaberry, your Twitter?
At Aquaberry_KH, so that everyone knows that I'm a KH fan.
Right, yeah.
AQUABERRY_KH.
Yeah, and once again, we'll be throwing them in the description below, and of course, you can also follow KH Database. I don't know how you found this channel without looking at our Twitter, but if in the event that you don't know us, the KH Database, the site that runs this, is at KH Database. Pretty simple, pretty clean. And then of course, please check out KH13 as well. They've got a big project, a big video coming out tomorrow, so to pay attention to their YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. and then of course Jempanada's channel, which will be linked again on Twitch, and watch her play through the series. And if you join, you'll get to watch her play Kingdom Hearts 3 pretty soon. So thank you to you both for coming out and being on the podcast. It was great to have you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. And we will. And now I gotta end the podcast pretty. I didn't think about how I'm gonna end the podcast. And thank you for anybody listening and watching for joining us for our very first live episode.
Everybody who was watching.
So, Show off all your Kingdom Hearts gear.
Yes.
I
You should
don't
have your stick.
gear. I have like a Sora thing.
That'll work.
However, I do have a Magikarp.
Hey, that's my
I love
favorite Kingdom
Magikarp.
Hearts character. Beautiful.
Yeah, you can find him in Atlantica.
My little
Yes.
Stitch.
Hey, I have a Monsters Inc. Funko over there. I'm not gonna get it, but
He's like,
Posters.
it's over there.
it's
I
over
have
there.
Sora's butt.
I saw those things. Those were like the cutest thing ever, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But yeah.
Oh my god.
Sora twerking.
Oh
Perfect.
goodness.
I love it.
Yeah, my Funko Pop is over there, but I won't get it right now. Oh, that was. I'm never doing that again.
Oh, can you see mine? It's right there.
Oh yeah, I can see. Is that a Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora?
Yeah.
Oh yes. So. Anyway, thank you again for joining us, everybody listening, and our guests, of course. We will have another episode out soon, hopefully. See, this is why I invite you guys.
Oh wait, I do it backwards. There we go.
So, that being said, Kingdom Hearts 3 is in a mere 10 days. Holy hype!
Woo!
Ah!
We're so close.
I'm gonna play the Japanese version in less than that. So
Go away. No. So I hope everybody has a wonderful time with their experiences with Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm going to be blacking out on the internet in a couple days when it comes out in Japan. So I'm going to miss everybody. But I will see you guys on the other side of the door of Kingdom Hearts 3. Bye, and we will see you next time.
Bye. See ya.
Now I got to end quickly. We go.